محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal to bless our efforts and grant success to our endeavors and define our goal and unite our heart and purify our intentions. Allahumma ameen. في ليلة الجمعة and in the night of Al-Jum'ah, the day of Al-Jum'ah, it's the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to recite Surah Al-Kahf. As we mentioned many times before, there are two hadith in this regard, specifically about the reward for those who recite Surah Al-Kahf in this 24-hour window from Maghrib to Maghrib. The Maghrib of Thursday, then the night of Jum'ah starts, and then the day of Jum'ah, Fajr, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib. That Maghrib is the end now, then Saturday night starts. So this window here to recite Surah Al-Kahf tonight, tomorrow, as long as before Maghrib tomorrow, inshallah. So whoever recites Surah Al-Kahf at this time, during this window, Allah Azza wa Jalla gives him a light from this week to the following week. That is a time light connected to time. So time of blessing for your time, blessing for your days and nights and hours and seconds. There is a blessing of that light. The other hadith saying the place. So there will be a light from your place until the house of Allah, Kaaba. فلك نور from Allah عز وجل. أو إلى البيت المعمور. Either or يعني. You have a space light and you have a time light. Put those together and you see that basically your life is encompassed with the light of Allah Azza wa Jal. The light of the Quran. والقرآن نور وكتاب مبين. Right? Quran is a light with which you never go astray. Light that shows you everything. Light of the Quran in general, because they are word of Allah, and the light in each and every teaching. For salah, it is light for you to do your salah properly. For dealing with people, there is a light of mu'amalat. To believe in Allah, there is a light how to believe in Allah. In the morals, there is a light. Everything, every thought, every word, every action, Quran will give you a specific light for that, relevant to that action or that word. Remember that. And also in general, Quran is our light in this life. May Allah make us among those who live in the light of the Quran and fill our hearts and our lives with the light of Quran. Have to have internal light and external light. For Quran to reflect on inside and Quran to live according to outside. Those are the two that keeps a believer a believer. That's why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said the example of the believer who recites the Quran and acts upon it is al-utrujjah, is a fruit that smells citrusy, very nice smell, and it tastes very good. External and internal. And the example of the believer who does not recite Quran is the example of the date, kajur, tamr. It tastes sweet, but doesn't have smell. So if there is a date somewhere that you don't see, you don't know. But that fruit, if it is not there, I smell it. Quran makes people reach to you. Yeah? So you say that sometimes, where, I need somebody to give me ruqya or somebody to teach me. He said, I heard about a hafiz somewhere. The smell of the Quran, even though you don't know the person. See? And now if you go and find that person acting upon it, tastes good too. But someone who does not recite Quran is a believer. No smell, no effect, no impact. طيب, the munafiq who recites the Quran, recites, but inside no good. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال كالريحانة, a type of basil or يعني a plant that it tastes bitter but smells so good. You can smell it, but the minute you put it in your mouth, هذا منافق, hypocrite. The munafiq who does not recite Quran, كالحنظلة. Hanzala is a type of fruit. It smells bad and tastes bad. That's why. So I'm connecting this hadith to the internal and external light of the Quran. So you pick. Somebody living in front of people the Quran, but from inside, when they are alone, be careful. That is a sign of munafiq. And someone believe inside in the Quran but does not recite. You are like a date. Kajur people remember Ramadan only. And when you see, you taste. You don't see, Inshallah, may Allah make us among those. Surah Al-Kahf, there is the story of Dhul Qarnayn. And there is a nice story about the story of Dhul Qarnayn. I remember my father, Sheikh Mustafa Hafidhahullah, was explaining this 20 plus years ago in Bilal Masjid, Adil Road Masjid, something. 20, 25 years ago, something like that. بيشرح سورة الكهف on Sunday morning Quranic studies. And somebody presents. And then that brother presents and he talked about half hour about the meaning of the word Zul Qarnayn. Qarnayn يعني two horns. Is it actual two horns or not two horns? And Dhul Qarnayn is Alexander the Macedonian. Is he this? Is he that? And history, this Bible say. And the next 5 minutes covers the rest of the surah. So the Sheikh said something very nice. Stick in my head since then. He said the difference between a Muslim scholar and a secular scholar is very major difference. A Muslim scholar brings all the different branches of a subject and bring them together. Secular scholar does the opposite. He finds something whole, he divides it and dissects it. But a Muslim scholar brings all the divided and put them unite. And that's what Quran does. Does Quran mention this story to tell you what Zul Qarnayn means? Allah said about that they asked Prophet, who is this Zul Qarnayn? Zul Qarnayn have a story in the Old Testament and Bible, everything like that, right? So they come and test the Prophet. A person, his name is Zul Qarnayn in all time. Do you know the story? Do you know who is he? Instead of Allah replying, who is he? He said, what did he do? So what we care about? The goal. There were lots of things happen, but it is mentioned in Surah Al-Kahf for a purpose. What is the theme of Surah Al-Kahf? Aqidah, believe in Allah. The story of the people of the cave, they run away, they stayed in the cave. Why? To protect their deen and iman. Musa alayhi salam, Prophet of Allah, he went in his journey to strengthen his iman in Allah's knowledge. Yes? Correct? The two people of the garden, what was the story about? Faith and akhirah. Yes? Zul Qarnayn, same thing. So why you have to tell me this? And he was helmet, and the helmet has two horns, and two horns the east and the west, and his name was this. Who cares? It is like people of the cave. What kind of dog did they have? Is it a German Shepherd or a Mexican Chihuahua, or it is like what kind of kutta? Kutta kaun hai? What kind of dog? Yani? Who cares? Yani Allah Azza wa Jal mention the dog, that they had a dog. بس خلاص يعني end of story. There is a حيوان, there is an animal who's with them, give some indication, you learn a lesson. Even the animals, Allah Azza wa Jal is able to resurrect and able to do, and this is another soul. Even the dog run away from the zulm. Yani, these are the lessons you learn. But what kind of dog, big, small, this, that, man, who cares? Right? If Allah did not mention the detail, means it is not important or importance is secondary. Yani, don't ask about that first. So the story of Zulqarnain is full of lessons. I'll only mention 2 lessons and finish. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, they ask you about Zulqarnain, I will mention some of his story. قل سأتلو عليكم منه ذكرى ما قال الله قل سأتلو عليكم ذكره منه, part of it. Yani this is not the whole story. Yani the whole story doesn't concern you. I'll only give you the part that you need. See? When you read Quran, you have to get that. But we are human beings, curious. Always want to know what if. What is this? One person one time asked Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar in the Hajj. He goes and asks him fatwa, yani, for Hajj. He answered him, Ya Imam, Ya Abdullah ibn Umar, Ya Sahabi of Rasulullah, I did this. He gave him fatwa. Told him, what if? He said, this happened to you? He told him, he said, leave what if in Yemen. Where are you from? He told him, I'm from Yemen. He said, leave your what if in your house. في Yemen, Ask me what happens to you now. I don't have time for you, man. What if this? What if this? Did it happen to you? No. Did it happen to anyone that you know? خلاص يا أخي, يعني forget about it. He could answer him, by the way. But you know what's going to happen next? You know what happens next, right? He's going to go and ask about 100 what ifs. And he comes to the sheikh next day. The minute you answer what if machine is going to start working now. This is not the story. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, I will mention some of his story. One, that Allah give him power and he has iman. So that's lesson number 1. Not every leader, not every king, not everybody is bad. And not everyone who is good is a king. Correct? Yani there is lots of good people, but they transgressed. And there are lots of people who are rich and all that, and they are good. You have to understand that. And that is one example. So that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 1, Allah gave him what? Both. Hikmah, ilm, power. Together. Like Dawood alayhi salam, like Sulaiman alayhi salam. So Zulqarnain was like that. East, west, north, south, he went, Allah mentioned that. Second lesson, I told you there is 10 lessons or more in this, but I mentioned 2 only. So lesson number 1, I just told you. Lesson number 2, which is very important. When he went between the 2 mountains and he find the people complaining from Ya'juj and Ma'juj. You know Ya'juj and Ma'juj, 2 tribes, Allah mentioned in the Quran. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said they are the sign of the day of judgment. They're going to come out. Allah knows how they're going to come out. Don't tell me that we have the knowledge to know every single inch of the earth. We don't. This is a lie. Anybody tells you otherwise is liar. And then a geologist over here, mashallah. Do we know every single inch on earth, what it is? No. Do we have even the technology to know every single inch of earth and every single layer of it? Bardo, no. You don't have that. Even if you have all of this, Allah Azza wa Jalla able to switch all of this and make the law of physics doesn't work anymore. The law of human perception not there anymore. And believe me, we are in a time, if you mention 1% of what we have now to somebody 100 years ago, not 1400 years ago, they will not even believe you. They will put you in jail or they will put you in the asylum. You know, the crazy people. Say, if you tell them that I talk on the phone. Imagine kida like 300 years ago and you told somebody, let me go make a WhatsApp message. WhatsApp message? Yani I'm going to send the message while I'm here and somebody in Mecca will hear me. Huh? They will tell you like, "Inta majnoon wala?" Correct? So you don't know what's going to happen 200-300 years from now when Ya'juj comes in a technological way that we don't even know, and you see them in front of you and say, صدق الله. صدق الله. حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج والله قال ماذا وهم من إيه؟ من كل comes from every direction. Allah did not say they will come from a certain mountain. They come from every direction. يعني they're going to pop out from earth. Allah knows. Allahu A'lam. Allahu A'lam. Anyways, when they complained from يأجوج ومأجوج, they told him, يا ذو القرنين إن يأجوج ومأجوج مفسدون في الأرض. They come and corrupt and they, destroy everything. Please, we're going to give you some money so you can make some kind of barrier between us and them. فشوف سبحان الله. He is a rich man. He has power. They can see in front of them and they're still offering him what? Money. That tells you it is not bad. That somebody work, he gets paid. Don't say he doesn't deserve it because he has lots of money. See the lesson now? Because that's what some people do. You see, somebody is rich. You hire them. They did the service for you. You don't give them the money. Why? يا أخي, does he need the money? وانت مالك انت? What is your job يعني? What's your business? هو millionaire, not millionaire. He comes and do the plumbing, driving Rolls Royce. What is your job? What is your issue يعني? This is his life. Did he fix? Did he do the job? Yes. Pay him the $10. It's not your business what he has. That is what Islam is, right? So never ever take somebody's right just because. Ya Sheikh, talk to this rich guy. I need some loan to start a small business. How much? I need a couple of $100,000. I tell him, Ya salam. I talk to this brother to give you $200,000. Why he should give you? He said, Sheikh, this is pocket change for him. He will not even feel that he lost the 200,000. I said, that means you're taking it as lost. You're already intending to. I said, this is haram, man. This is stealing right there. You are a thief. If you think that you take money from someone with intention not to return it, this is stealing. That's not good. He said, but he is a billionaire. I said, it's not your business. Ya akhi, billionaire, Allah will account him. It's not your job. What Allah will do with his money. You want? Take loan? Right. 2 witnesses, everything. And he has the right to tell you, no, I'm not going to give you a loan. Okay. So they offered him. What did he say in return? He was not arrogant. طبعا ذو القرنين, some scholars said he is prophet, some scholars said he is not prophet. Correct thing is not prophet. Anyways. قال ما مكنني فيه ربي خير. You see his humble reply? He said, whatever you see that I have, the knowledge, the power, the authority, the money, is from who? From my Rabb. This is good. This goodness is from who? So whenever anybody praises you, you should say what? هذا من فضل ربي. That brings your heart down to earth and shaitan runs away from you. Now the next word is the key word in this story. فَأَعِينُونِي بِقُوَّةٍ. Yes, I have the resources, I have the soldiers, I have the power, but you have to work. I don't need your money, I have the money. I actually don't need your labor, I have the soldiers, right? I don't need anything from you, I have the technology. I can build this thing in no time. But you have to do what you need. You need that to protect yourself, so you have to learn how to protect yourself. I will provide you with what you don't have. You don't have the technology, you don't have the idea, you don't know how. But you have the muscles to work, then you need to work. That, wallahi, the biggest lesson I always tell any community. And I'll give you application and I'll finish. فَأَعِينُونِي بِقُوَّةٍ أَجْعَلْ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ رَدْمًا. Then he gave him the detailed plan. Bring me the pieces of iron. Let's melt the iron. Let's do this. Then he put it. Then he put the brass on it. And then he made the architecture. Then he built it and he finished. But who did the labor? Who did the work? They did. You know why? If you get somebody to do it for you, you never appreciate. You never maintain. You never feel it. Now imagine some people want to build a masjid. And everybody telling, Sheikh, talk to one of these Gulf oil people, to write one check, we build a masjid. I say, by the way, that's easy for someone to do it. Now, forget about the logistics. But is it possible? Yeah. One guy can build 10 masjids. But what's after the masjid built? What this community will do? What will be the behavior of the community? You know, when you come, masjid, marble, big minaret, big things, everything is beautiful. Bismillah, here is the keys. Here are the keys. What's going to happen in 1 year? Tell me. Exactly. You know why? Because it's more expensive than you. Correct? It's more expensive than you. Some people think that I need to be rich. Believe me, if tomorrow you find yourself have $1 million to buy a house, they will foreclose in it in a few months. You're not ready for that. Life itself has to grow with you. That's why you don't wake up and find the money. You are going to be crazy. You're going to spend it without even knowing. So it has to. So the community needs a masjid to grow with them, and they grow with it. That is why I said the community can afford 100,000, start with 50,000 and keep 50 in the bank. This is your maintenance for the next year. Now work 1 year on making that 50 become 70 return, you know? And once you have 100,000 in the account and the things are going on, then expand a little bit. And I advise very rich people in the community not to give money and build the masjid once like that. Believe me, there is a hikmah for them not doing that. Because if they do that, you'll never appreciate. Your children will never appreciate. Masjid has to grow with you, and you have to grow with it. You understand, ya Ikhwani? It is like software, hardware kind of thing. You know, they upgrade the software, they upgrade like that. So you cannot make one this way and one here, right here. They are not going to work together. And that's why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam built the Masjid al-Nabawi. Then they had lots of gold and silver and everything. He was feeding the poor, but not expanding the masjid or making the dome or making any of that. Abu Bakr, same thing. You think they didn't have millions of gold coins in the Bayt al-Mal? They had. But masjid, maintenance and adornment was not the priority. Priority was to build the community who's going to expand the masjid. That's why later, when the Muslim Ummah became, they started now making beautiful buildings and stuff. I hope I'm clear. So Zul Qarnayn teaching that. You want something, you need something, I have something you don't have, I will give you what you don't have, but you give me what you have. You can work, I need you to work. That is why it is very, very important to put your dollar before the $100,000. In any fundraising, I said the brother and the sister, you who put $20, you are more important to me than the one who put 20,000. In a way, yeah. They are very important to put but for your $20, it's very important. I want you to have a sadaqah jariyah right there. I want your children to come and put 2,000 when they grow, and their grandchildren to put 20,000. That's how it goes. But never ever think somebody rich will take care of me. Don't do that. Work hard. Do what you are able to do. May Allah teach us from the stories of the Quran. Wa sallallahu sallam wa baraka. After, he came after, Zul Qarnayn came after. Of course. لا يعني ما هو it is going to be within 1,000-year time يعني. Not longer than that. لأن between سيدنا موسى عليه السلام and سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام it's a couple of 1,000 years يعني. مش موضوع كبير يعني. It's a big, I don't know what fire pit that they have يعني. يعني آتوني أفرغ عليه قطرة وبعدين آتوني زبر الحديد حتى إذا ساوى بين الصدفين. It's a big project. It's not like a small project يعني. Yes, and it has technology in it. And when I read Quran every time and I read the tafsir, there was some kind of technology. It cannot be like like manual يعني. like Egyptian thing. We cannot be like that. It has to be some kind of technology. It doesn't have to be in the same line our technology is grown. It doesn't have to be that. يعني the word technology is something advanced, a methodology which is advanced to figure out things that humanly not possible, right? That's what a technology is. So technology now, it is more digital, touch, this and that. Maybe their technology is aligning things in a certain way that makes a certain things. You know, like there was this guy that in Japan, I think, that he puts things over each other that it is not possible to put. He defies the law of physics. Like he will put something and then he will settle something on the tip of it that it will stand in a certain way, and then he put another thing that will stand in a certain way and balancing it. That's a technology. That's, you know, figuring out the center point, the exact point of balance of something. Who knows? Maybe that was the technology before. Allahu a'lam yani. May Allah teach us, inshallah, what benefits us and benefits us, what He teaches us. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا. جزاكم الله خير. I enjoy every Thursday, by the way, to do this يعني. So be patient with me, inshallah.